when we talk about Palestinians, right, we know that they are not only Muslims who are living in Palestine, and we know that there are Christians, Palestinians, who are living together peacefully with Muslims, Palestinians. So how long have Muslims and Christians lived side by side in Palestine?
I would say ever since Islamic faith have found its way through Palestine, Muslim existence in Palestine is inspired by the journey of ascension that was taken by Prophet Muhammad, who ascended to heaven from Jerusalem and onwards. But that's the spiritual connection, how it started. The physical presence of Palestinian Muslims in Palestine started with expansion of the Islamic, let's say, empire, with the arrival of Umar ibn al-Khattab, the second Caliphate and one of the disciples of Prophet Muhammad, who came to Jerusalem. And from then on, he was handed the keys of Jerusalem by the priest of Jerusalem at the time, who was a Christian figure. He was the head of the Church of Holy Sepulchre at the time. Of course, to make sure that the foundations of respectful coexistence for one another have to be elaborated on. So it was decided to have that in writing, and the agreement between Umar ibn Khattab as well as the priest of Jerusalem is still read up until today, and has provided a very important basis for togetherness, where there has to be a granted freedom of worship for everyone. Since that time, about in the mid of like the 7th or 8th century, there has been a beautiful coexistence happening between not only Muslims and Christians in Palestine, but also between all people of faith. So how long has there been a coexistence? I would say ever since the arrival of Muslims into Jerusalem, and have continued, and we are nothing more than the evolution of that generation. Only in Palestine you would understand the evolution of Abrahamic faiths. Why? Because you have Palestinian population is very, very diverse. After Moses, the majority of the people were people of faith who live with people, let's say, who are pagan and so on. And there has always been like some form of coexistence between all people of faith in Palestine. The last thing I want to say is that the oldest Abrahamic faith we have in Palestine are the Palestinian Samaritans, and those are the exact same people who continue to speak the Hebrew of Moses and continue to believe in the Torah or the Old Testament of Moses, and then everything else had been a continued evolution. So yeah, for how long have Muslims and Christians been living in Palestine? I would say ever since Muslims have arrived into Palestine.